A warm good morning, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Errol Barnett as we both look live at Beijing. It's the morning for us, but 7:30 in the evening there as President Trump ends his two-day summit with China's Xi Jinping. That's where we begin our top stories for you this Friday. President Trump is now on his way back to Washington after touting what he said was progress made in U.S.-China relations. Moments ago, he spoke to reporters aboard Air Force One and addressed the situation with Taiwan.
On Taiwan, he doesn't want to see a movement for independence. He says, look, we've had it for thousands of years. And on Taiwan, he feels very strongly. I made no commitment either way.
The Trump administration is hailing fantastic trade deals that came from the talks. The president told Fox News China agreed to buy American oil, soybeans, and Boeing jets. Xi called the meeting historic and said the nations reached new common understandings with each other. According to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Mr. Trump and Xi also discussed the war in Iran and the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. However, Rubio said President Trump did not ask for Beijing to help bring the months-long conflict to an end.
He didn't ask him for anything. I mean, we're not asking for China's help. We don't need their help.
But he raises the issue.
We raise the issue to make clear what our position is. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
CBS News senior White House correspondent was watching every twist and turn of this as I turn my direction from Beijing and joins us now. Weijia, good morning. So what exactly happened on day two?
Good morning, Errol. Good morning to everybody. So just a few hours ago, these two leaders wrapped up their second round of formal talks over tea. It was the final event for President Trump's two-day visit here, where Iran, Taiwan, and trade dominated the conversations. Trump said this was a successful meeting, and Xi called it a historic visit as Beijing gave the president a lavish send-off. China rolled out the red carpet one last time for President Trump before he waved goodbye to his hosts and boarded Air Force One back to the U.S. Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping capped off their final day together, walking around the historic Zongnanhe Garden.
Nice place.
But after a two-day display of diplomacy, it's still to be seen how much progress they made to resolve tension over several topics.
We've settled a lot of different problems that other people wouldn't have been able to settle.
Xi told Trump Taiwan was the most important issue in the U.S.-China relationship and warned mismanagement could have consequences.
He feels very strongly. I made no commitment either way.
Trump said China agreed to buy American oil, 200 Boeing jets, and soybeans.
The farmers are going to be very happy. They're going to be buying billions of dollars of soybeans.
When it comes to the conflict in Iran, Trump says he and Xi agree the country should not have nuclear weapons and that the Strait of Hormuz must be open.
We feel very similar, right? We want that to end.
The Chinese Foreign Ministry did not say if Beijing would get involved with negotiating an end to the war, but Trump said Xi would help.
He did offer, he said, if I can be of any help at all, I would like to be of help.
While it's not clear what China got in return, its foreign ministry says the two nations reached new consensuses, and Trump's visit, quote, deepened trust.
He said what President Trump has done has been a virtual miracle. It's the hottest country anywhere in the world, and it is.
President Trump also said that he and Xi talked about just anything that you could possibly talk about, except they did not talk about a reduction in tariffs. The president is expected to land back in Washington tonight, and he told Xi he looks forward to welcoming him to the nation's capital in late September. Errol?
Yeah, certainly a notable omission. Weijia, thank you so much. We're joined now on set by MacLean. He's a CBS News national security analyst and host of the School of War podcast. Aaron, good morning. Welcome. So we're sitting here trying to assess what the U.S. got out of all of this. Beijing made it clear Taiwan is a top priority, and President Trump on Air Force One suggested the U.S. will make a determination on that later. What do you make of that topic?
Well, it seems like there were no concessions made by President Trump on Taiwan in the meetings. That seems to be what he means by that. What President Trump thinks the United States got out of this summit is deals. He suggested that there are energy deals, that there are agriculture deals, and that there are deals about jets that are going to be forthcoming from this. We don't have any details on that yet. And of course, the Chinese have made promises of future economic action in the past that they didn't follow through on. But what's really striking to me is the difference in vibes. The American side, President Trump, this is sort of the friendship summit. President Trump even said that Xi Jinping is his friend. The Chinese side, firmer, more resolved, even depending on how closely you listen to some of their words, threatening over the question of Taiwan.
Well, that was, I think, a notable difference in the readouts, the summaries that each side gives of the one-on-one discussions. The U.S. kept things very generic, whereas China mentioned Taiwan. So then did the U.S. gain anything tangible? A lot of our reporters are saying the fact that they met, the fact that they spoke and kept things diplomatic is its own win. Is that really it?
There's something to be said for that. Things were very tense a year ago. Now there's this channel. The president invited Xi to the United States this fall. We'll see if that comes to pass. But I don't see any information out of this summit suggesting any movement on anything besides the deals. And of course, the deals we have to see, frankly, if the check's clear.
Right.
But on Iran, according to President Trump, the Chinese expressed in principle that they agree the Strait should be open. They agree Iran should never have a nuclear weapon. It's not clear that they're going to do anything about that. I'm going to go ahead and suggest that it's highly unlikely that they do anything about that. And on Taiwan, the Chinese definitely see it as a zero-sum game. We're, as of right now, not making any concessions, and that is a dangerous situation.
All right, Aaron, great to get you here on this Friday. When you get to it, enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.